Welcome to Form 1 Mathematics DLP, Chapter 1 Rational Number. This is the third part of the lesson for 1.2 Basic Arithmetic Operation involving integers. Now, if you have not watched the two previous video, it is advisable for you to watch it first and then you come back to this part of the session. Now the two video will be linked in the description box below. Shall we start? Now let's look at the other thing, which is the law of arithmetic operation. Now both must help us to do calculation based on the level. Other than that, there are other laws that we are going to learn. The one that we're going to learn is commutative law, associative law, distributive law, and identity law. Now, instead of me telling you what is what, we're going to do activity along so that you can also understand how this law works. Alright, number 1. According to this law, commutative law, it happened when the order of the number changed or switched from the initial position. So, what does this mean? It means that, for example, this first one, this one is 9 at the front and 3 is at the back. The second one that you see now is switch position. Now instead of at the back, number 3 has now become at the front and 9 is already at the back. This is what we mean by switch from initial position. Now we are going to have you see this yellow box? So this yellow-orange box, we are going to replace them with the operation that you see at the top of the table. So plus, minus, multiply, and divide. So the first one will be 9 plus 3. Okay, your answer should be 12. The next one will be 9 minus 3. Okay, I'm going to use a different color so that you don't see them blue and blue. Okay, you should get 6. And then 9 multiply 3. Okay, correct. 27. The last one is 9 divide 3. Yes, okay, 3. So the second one is 3 blank 9. So the first operation is 3 plus 9, which is 12. And then 3 minus 9, which is negative 6. And then 3 multiply 9. Okay, 27. And then the last one is 3 divided with 9. Now on your calculator it will be very long, 0.3333 until the end of the calculator. Now how do I change this one? It is actually 3 over 9. So when you simplify the fraction, which you already learned in primary school, is 1 over 3. Now if you are someone who is weak with mathematics, the other one is use your calculator. I'm sure your teacher will be happy that you can do the calculation. So how do we use that one? So after you 3 divide with 9, the screen on your calculator will be 0.3333. In order to switch to fraction, can you see this button? A, B over C. Okay, so when you press this button, the number has now become, let me change to pen. The number is now shown is 1 something like this. So it means 1/3. Okay, you learn another skill using calculator. Okay, back to this commutative law. Commutative comes from the word commute, which is moving from a place to another place. Something like that. Now from this activity, okay, you notice that the answer for addition and the answer for multiplication, both of them remains the same no matter where is the number. Okay, when I switch the position of the number 9 and number 3, I still get the answer same. I still get the same answer, which is 12 and 27. So because these two have the same answer, we say that, okay, plus addition and multiplication obey the commutative law, right? So the one that doesn't have the same answer doesn't obey the commutative law. Means that you cannot switch position when you are minus or divide. Switching the position can affect the answer. Next one, let's see associative law. So associative law happens when there is parenthesis. Parenthesis means bracket. Don't ask me why they don't use the word bracket. Okay, parenthesis means bracket. So it happens when the bracket, the parenthesis, shift and the numbers does not. Okay, so we look at this example. You see that the bracket is at 8 and 5. Now I change, which is I shift it to the back, so it becomes with the 5 and 2. Okay, same thing, we are going to put the operation in the yellow box. So the first one will be 8 plus 5, okay, and then plus 2. Okay, we are going to use the same operation. So 8 plus, remember our BODMAS. So we got bracket, which is 8 plus 5. So 8 plus 5, you get 13, plus 2, which is 15. The next one is minus, so it's bracket 8 minus 5 minus 2. So we are going to do the bracket first. 8 minus 5, you will get 3. And then minus 2 again, which is your final answer as 1. Right, the next one is bracket 8 multiply 5, close, multiply 2. Alright, so 8 multiply 5, you get 40. And then multiply 2, you get 80. Okay, the last one is 8 divide with 5, divide again with 2. Okay, so 8 divide with 5, divide with 2. So your final will be 0.8. Now we move to the second one. The second one is 8 plus bracket 5 plus 2. So we're going to do the bracket first, which is 5 plus 2, 7. And then 8 plus 7 will be 15. The next one is 8 minus 5 minus 2. Alright, so we are going to do the bracket first, which is 5 minus 2. We get 3. And then 8 minus 3, you get 5. Next one is 8 multiply 5 multiply 2. Okay, so bracket first, 5 multiply 2, which is 10. Multiply with 8, you get 80. Last one is 8 divide with bracket 5 divide 2. Alright, so we're going to do the bracket first, which is 5 divide 2. You get 2.5. And then 8 divide with 2.5, which is 3.2. Okay. Now let's look at the summary. From this activity, plus and multiply both get the same answer when the parentheses shifted. Okay, so we say that addition and multiplication obeys the associative law because the answer remains the same despite the parenthesis shifted position. Right, next. Okay, distributive law. Okay, happens when multiplying everything inside the parentheses, which is bracket. Oops. Okay, by what is outside. So it means that multiply everything inside the parentheses by what is outside. So whatever number is outside, it will be multiplied with whatever that is inside. So we look at this sample. So it's 8 multiplied with 5. So the parenthesis, which is the bracket, and 1 yellow box. So it will be, for the first one is 8 multiply 5 plus 2. So we're going to do whatever is in the bracket first, which is 5 plus 2 equals to 7. So next one is 8 multiply 7. You should get 56. Next one, 8 multiply 5 minus 2. So 8 multiply 5 minus 2. So 5 minus 2 is in a bracket. So we are going to do that one first. So 5 minus 2, you get 3. So after that is 8 multiply 3, which is 24. And then last, the multiply, the third one is 8 multiply with bracket 5 multiply 2. So 5 multiply 2, you get 10. 8 multiply 10, you get 80. Last, okay, 8 multiply 5 divide with 2. So we're going to do the bracket first, which is 5 divided with 2. Get 2.5. And then 8 multiply with 2.5. Get 20. Okay, the second one is 8 multiply 5 plus 8 multiply 2. So we are going to calculate as if we're doing the BODMAS. Okay, so 8 multiply 5, get 40, plus 8 multiply 2, you get 16. So in the end, you get 56. The second one is 8 multiply 5 minus 8 multiply 2. So 8 multiply 5, you get 40, minus with 8 multiply 2, you get 16. And you should get 24. Okay, last one. The second last will be 8 multiply 5 multiply 8 multiply 2. This one, because all multiply, we do it from the front to the back. You can use the help of your calculator straight away. So 8 multiply 5 multiply 2, 8 multiply 2. So it's a 640. The last one is 8 multiply 5 divide with 8 multiply 2. Divide and multiply are on the same level. So we're going to do from the left to the right. Okay, should get 10. Now from this activity, okay, these two gets the same answer. So we say that addition and subtraction obey the distribution law. Okay, because the answers remain the same despite the changes. Okay, the last one. Okay, this last one is a very interesting law. It is called identity law. So it is where the number remains the same after the mathematical operation. Now let's say that our x, okay, the x that you see here is 8. So how we do this one is 8, see, plus 0. So 8 plus 0, you get 8. So next one is 8 multiply 0. I'm sure you know this answer, which is 0. Next one is 8 multiply 1. Okay, this one is 8 plus minus 8. So 8 plus minus 8. So remember, multiply plus multiply, positive multiply negative, you get negative. So it's 8 minus 8, which is 0. I'm going to come back to this one in a while. The next one is 8 multiply 1 over 8. So if you know from your primary school, this one become 1. Now remember this one, we come back to here. It becomes 0. This is the one that I showed earlier in this lesson, okay, the last few lesson of 0 pair. Okay, let me show you. Still remember. Okay, 0 pair. So when a positive meets a negative of the same value, it is a 0 pair, means it is 0. Right? So from this activity, okay, so 8 and 8, the same value. So 8 plus negative 8, you get 0. Okay, it's called 0 pair. Alright, so from here, we know that plus 0, you still get 8. Multiply 1, you still get 8. Okay. Alright, we see a summary. Okay, the summary is Addition and multiplication obeys commutative law. Addition and multiplication obeys the associative law. Addition and subtraction obeys distributive law. And all that we have done just now is called identity law. Right? If you notice that addition obeys all the law. Okay, let's see how to use this law to do some simple calculation. Right, some of you may disagree with what the law is going to show, but let's see why it is like so. Right, number 1 is 29 plus 38 plus 2. So 29, the associative law says that additions obey the law. Alright. From this example is 38 plus 2. Now if you look carefully, you know that 8 plus 2 you get 10. Okay? It is a smaller number. So when it's 10, it's easier for you to add in compared to 29 plus 38. So we choose these two. When we choose these two, we know that 0 plus 9 you get 9, 2 plus 4 you get 6. It is a very easier way to calculate. Right, next one. Okay, in this question we are going to see two laws. The first law is commutative law. Commutative means it can move. So we are going to move 2 to the back where it becomes 24 multiply 2 multiply 5. Now it is easier for you to multiply 2 multiply 5 because it affects the following step, which is the associative law. Remember, multiplication obeys the associative law. You can remember 2 multiply 5, which is equals to 10. That is why these laws are chosen, so that when 10 multiply 24, you have an easier calculation. And everybody knows that anything multiplied with 10, you add a 0 at the back. Next one. Okay, you can disagree with the sample. You can also agree with it. We'll see why it is used like this. Okay, 7 multiply 3040. From the 3040, I can separate it becomes 3000 plus 40. Now according to the distributive law, okay, when it is plus, anything multiplied outside will still remains the same. So what actually happened is 7 multiply with that's 2 number inside. So 7 multiply 3000 plus with 7 multiply with 40. Now it is easier for you to multiply like this because that 7 multiply 3 you get 21 with the 30 at the back, and 7 multiply 40 you can get 280. And then because this is 3 digit and there's 30 at the back, easily for you to add. Okay, last question. Okay, we are going to move to problem solving. So this problem solving, we got two questions. We see the first one. Okay, in this problem solving, the question is, in a game, Sharif starts to move 120 plots forward from plot 24. Then he moves 91 plots backwards and move again 12 plots backward. Find Sharif Final's location. Okay, so from this question, please do not fear long question. Longer the question, the easier you can answer compared to the shorter one. Okay, it says it moved forward from plot 24. So it means that in this game, it starts at the box that is 24. Okay, and then it moved 120 plot, 120 squares, and it arrived at this location. Okay, from this location, I label it A. Okay, it moved backwards 91 plots, or I should say 91 steps. Move back again 12. So we want to know where is his location. Remember when we learned our number line that if moved to the right, which is the forward, it is a positive number. And when it moves to the back, it becomes negative number. So we are going to change all those steps, the plots become positive and negative number. Now it starts at 24. We're not going to really use that one. Okay. Move forward. So move forward 120. So 120 will be a positive number. Then he moves 91 plots backward. So backward is a negative number. And then 12 is also a negative number, which is backward. So it starts at 24 and he moves forward, okay, 120. And then he moves again backward. So 91 step backward, and he moves again backward 12 plots. Okay, so this is the case where we learn we need to change, because positive multiply negative. So I have not calculated 24, so I copy down. Same with 120. So plus minus plus multiply negative. So it becomes negative. Positive multiply negative. This one become negative 12. Alright, so use your calculation. Did you get 41? Okay, if you get 41, very good. So means that Sharif's final location is at plot 41. Okay, let's look at another question. Now, this question is even longer. So remember, what I told you just now, you need to read it. Okay, you need to read it. Let's read them together. Alright, Lokman's credit card account shows a balance of debt. Okay, first point, debt. That means it is negative. We did this in the earlier lesson. 230 at one time. He had used his credit card to pay 3 books, each costing 120. A week later, his credit card account was charged with an interest of RM3. And Lokman made his payment of 400 ringgit. Now explain, has Lokman cleared his debt? Now we see, does he still have any remaining money inside the credit card, or has he paid it all? Okay, so debt shows it is a negative number. So 230 is already a negative. And then he used credit card to pay. One book is 120. So total of 3 books is, because this is to his credit card, it is a negative. So 3 multiply negative, I'm not going to try RM, 120. How much did you get? Okay, negative 360. Now his credit card account was charged, so that one is also a negative because that's from bank. And Lokman made a payment, so this is a positive number. So we want to see this, does he still has any more debt inside the credit card. So his credit card start off with our negative RM 230. Okay, add to it is the book, which is negative RM 360, and bank charges 3 ringgit of interest, and he paid the money. So paid money, you need to minus that one, so it becomes RM 400. Okay, so we're going to settle the plus minus. So negative 230. This one is positive, multiply negative, you get negative 360. Oh, sorry, this one should be plus. Okay, plus. Positive multiply negative, you get negative 3 plus 400. Plus is because he did a payment of 400 ringgit. Okay, so negative 230 minus 360 minus 3 plus 400. In the end, there is a negative number. So RM 193. So negative means he has not finished paying the credit card. So our final answer will be no, Lokman still has RM 193 in his credit card. Okay, so any question that says explain, you need to write the final answer, okay, based on your calculation. So this is how we use combined operation in integer. I hope that you can understand after all this one. Alright, so to make you even more understandable, of course, in mathematics we need to do homework. So hopefully you can try the question from your textbook, page 11 1.2c, page 12 1.2d, and page 13 1.2e. Okay, so this has been a long video. I'm going to split this video into 2 sections again, so it will be the 3rd section for me to split it again. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care and goodbye.